This time we're going to change musical style and use the same 2-5-1 progression, but interpret it in more of a pop feel. Looking at the notation, you can see that the bass line is constructed using arpeggios to voice each of the chords, but the last two bars have been purposely left blank. Instead of playing what's written, we're being asked to improvise a bass line. Now, in music, the word improvise simply means to compose or write music on the fly. So, in the context of this little exercise, we're actually going to improvise or make up a bass line to fill in these 2 bars of music. Now, this might sound a little daunting, but if you look at the chord we're accompanying at this point, you can hopefully see that we just use the notes of a C major scale to create our ideas. So with this in mind, let's have a go at this exercise, and when you come to improvise, really try to make your ideas fit with the style of music. Just to let you know, I'll improvise a line the first time through, but on the second repeat I'll leave it blank for you to have a go. Okay, after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Slowing everything down, this time I'd like to look at playing this particular progression in more of an R&B style. Also, just to mix things up a little, I've introduced another chord into the sequence. Okay, here's the chord progression we're going to tackle, and as you see, I've also marked in the modes we're going to use to play it in a moment. So, as you can see, I've added the chord of A7 to the end of the progression. Listen to this progression and you'll hear that the A7 now helps create a cadence to lead us back to the D minor 7 chord at the beginning. Hopefully you also understand that in order to represent the sound of this dominant 7th chord 1 note at a time, we'd use the mixolydian mode, and as the root note of the chord is an A, we'd therefore use the mode of A mixolydian. Here's the notation for our 4th exercise. As you can see, it makes use of crotchets or quarter notes, as well as quavers or 8th notes. Also, I've decided to introduce some 1-beat rests, which are represented by these symbols here, so remember not to play during these. More importantly, get used to counting so that you come back in after the rests at the right time, and that you don't lose your place in the music. Okay, to help you with the placing of notes on the right beats of each bar, I've added the beat numbers where appropriate as a guide. Where this exercise differs from the others so far is that we're now using a mixture of chord and scale tones, and also notice that parts of the line are constructed using notes that are in step or in sequence from the modes they're from. To balance these in step, or to use another musical term, these scalar ideas, I've included some larger intervals between certain notes, so make sure you're reading ahead and you know exactly where to place your fingers. When we get to the A7 chord, we're just going to play A mixolydian, starting from the octave and descending down to the root. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.